Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Jesse, your DM.
Cody playing Lazarus.
Brennan playing Dis.
Mike playing Nim.
Britt playing Kenna.
And we are Double Doubles and Dragons. We're a group of goofy Canadians that have gotten together to play a little D&D. Sometimes we will say things that are inoffensive. We mean them as jokes, of course, and they're certainly funny to us, but some people may find this offensive. If you do, we apologize, but we don't want any hate mail about it. So just don't listen, okay? Let's jump right into the action. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Quick recap of the episode that we just left behind. So the party was taking some time to collect their thoughts and taking a shit in a hole in the corner. And a shadowy figure and a priest showed up and basically gave them the deal of they would kind of heal them at cost, so to speak, as long as they agree to make their deal with the shadowy figure of which they do not know the name. Dis got hit on a little bit by the priestess, who was handling an area of his thigh very close to certain tender areas, and seems to have caused some difficulty there with the rest of the party as they throw up and or hide themselves, except Dim, who definitely was wingmanning it up, which is always nice. The implements inside of Dis's chest have been removed, so he is ready to go for that. And the party did receive a little bit of a tidbit of information that normally a quest that, even as a hint of a demon presence, is normally done at a level of the Adventurers Guild that's at least 4 levels higher than the party is, and only about 3 from the top. Keeping in mind, of course, that the top level is the level that people like the Dark Knight exist at, or the Black Knight exist at. So that's quite a power gap. It's left them with some questions, definitely. We will pick up right where we left off then, I guess. All right. Am I doing the well-shaped individual first?
The well-shaped individual.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch his name.
That's
Dis.
Dis.
Dresman. Dis.
I see.
That's
Kenna just like...
And who might you be?
your
What a nice
voice. Wow.
All of a sudden, very smooth.
Wow.
You be. I feel like I went Lazarus there.
Wow, that was not your voice in the slightest. I think Kenna's now snickering.
I suspect so. She tries to match you as best she can, but she's, again, like, just completely be-red. You can practically see the blush running down her arms at this point, and she just goes, I'm Sasha.
Oh, Sasha.
So, am I healing you first, Dis?
I believe so.
The large lizard.
Lazarus.
Do you still have your hammer?
I do.
You may wish to give him the handle to bite on again.
That's just like goes behind him and like puts it in his mouth and holds him down.
I'm just like...
All right. I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna hurt. A lot.
I just nod. You're ready.
Okay, here we go. And she puts her hands on your chest, and you notice the healing energy that she put into you before was kind of a regular goldeny-ish color, but this one's got a bit more of like a deeper gold to it with kind of flecks of green. And as soon as it hits you and begins working, it is horrifying. It's a lot like if you've ever heard of somebody that has to get like a bone marrow drill for like cancer. It's like that, but constantly as the bones regrow inside your body. It kind of feels like you're being ripped apart from the inside. I don't even know where to put it on the pain scale, to be completely honest. It's like 30 something on a scale of 1 to 10.
Do I straight up pass out, or do I have
Pretty
a chance
much.
to roll my way out of this?
I don't think you'd want to, even if you had the option.
No, I want to try to man mode it.
Okay.
I'm trying to put on a
No,
rare-
I
yeah.
get it. I get it.
I don't think it's gonna work.
Let's do it.
Well, plus
I'm not
5.
gonna lie, it's gonna
I'm
be
gonna have to
hard.
roll, like...
Sasha Dis? Is that what you're hoping for?
Exactly. That's probably not happening. Even with the save, 19.
Constitution save.
No,
Or is
sorry,
that
what did
that
I just
was?
roll? Yeah.
That's what that was, 19? I need a luck roll.
Inspiration.
Okay.
Of course he would.
Okay.
This seems like the perfect time.
This seems like the only time.
14.
Okay. So, you don't maintain consciousness, but you hold out a length of time that you feel is pretty impressive.
Now, is the length of time actually impressive, or is it literally like a second?
You feel like it's impressive. That's all. Literally, time stops when your bones start regrowing. You have no concept of time. You're literally growing bones in your foot, your chest, and your hips. It's bad. You do pass out, but thanks to the luck roll, you do not piss yourself.
Yes. Small victories.
I mean, yeah.
Us watching him.
Yeah.
How long does it take him to pass out?
He screams like he's being murdered for about 2 straight minutes
Oh fuck!
before he
Yo,
finally passes out.
Probably felt like months.
Lazarus is just up there sweating.
That's why it felt like an impressive amount of time to use, because to you it felt like forever. As he passes out and the procedure finishes, he's sweating so profusely that the bed is physically dripping. That's how hard it was on his body.
I'll prestidigitation that shit up.
All right.
I'll do some wind over him to cool him, to make sure, but not so that he's shivering. Just
All right.
cool him.
It's a very tender and loving party you have there. So, you're unconscious, but good news, everything grows back. Bad news, it's really hard on your body. Regeneration can't do things that your body itself can't handle, so it uses as much of the magic of the caster as the healing energy of the body, which leaves you in a difficult situation. You are at exhaustion level 5.
You ain't getting healed today, Nim.
For those of you at home, that means that Dis has disadvantage on all ability checks. His speed is halved. He has disadvantage on all attack rolls and saving throws. His hit point maximum is halved. And thanks to exhaustion level 5, his speed is actually reduced to 0. He's incapable of moving. What's more is this is a special kind of exhaustion. This is a kind of exhaustion that can only be achieved by almost your body dying. Because of that, normally you would recover 1 level of exhaustion every time you long rest, which means that it would take you 5 days to get back to normal. This exhaustion, however, will take you 2 long rests per level. Which means that until you long rest 2 times, you are physically immobile.
Can you talk?
He can talk, but he can't move. His body is completely
He
shot.
looks like a raisin.
Yep.
Give me some water.
I mean, if it were our world, he'd be on machines breathing for him at this point. Okay. She takes a step back, and Dis is obviously breathing pretty hard. Okay. He'll live. Who's next?
Debbie!
I guess we're going in order of worst to least.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
All right,
Nim.
Nim. Yours shouldn't be as bad, because I only need to repair your internal structure, but it's still gonna hurt. Would you like the hammer?
Did I bite through there?
Lazarus pulls the handle out of Dis's mouth,
This is big teeth.
and there are teeth marks a full halfway through the handle of the hammer.
Oof. Does he have splinters?
We'll have to figure out how that works later. I mean, he
Lazarus
was
is
being healed the whole time, so it's not like it murdered him or anything,
But
but...
she's like, well, I'm going to need a new handle anyways.
Might as well.
Alright, then gets the slaughter stick.
Okay.
I'll insist that you
Yeah,
slide it
different spot.
to a different spot.
It's no good if he bites through it on his own and shatters his teeth. Okay. It's in your mouth. She begins channeling the spell. I need a Constitution saving throw from you as well.
Oh, that's not good.
+5.
Yeah, that's still not good. That's 11.
Even with Lazarus's comforting presence, I'm afraid Nim doesn't take it as well as Dis. Even though arguably the pain is less than Dis, not that Nim would ever admit that. You scream for about 30 seconds or so and pass out. Roll a luck roll.
Shits himself.
Nat 20.
Okay. He's all right. He's okay. Yeah, you just don't handle it as well as all. But never, I mean, I can't overstress enough how much this hurts. Especially, I mean, Nim, like, don't get me wrong, like, you had a lot of limbs to grow back, but Nim's spine had to be reformed.
That could have.
That's a lot of nerve endings. I'm sure it hurt.
I'm so excited for this.
Like, a lot. But Nim passes out, and he'll be okay. Nim, you are exhausted to level 4. With the same type of exhaustion.
Devil days.
They have no speed reduced.
Exactly. Well, he's still at half speed.
Yeah, but not.
But he doesn't have the speed reduced to 0. But that means for 2 days, he can only move at half... Well, actually, for longer than 2 days, he can only move at half speed. But for 2 days as well, his hit point maximum is halved. So he is in rough shape for at least... Actually, I mean, honestly, like, he'll be in rough shape for, like, 6 days until he gets past exhaustion level 2. Okay. Last one.
Do I really need another half an arm?
Yes, Kenna.
She gives you, like, a sad smile, but just, we may as well get it over with.
I'm just
Want
gonna
the
lay
hammer?
down first. Nah.
Okay. She walks up to you, begins the spell. I need a Constitution save and a luck roll.
That's gonna be a 26.
Okay.
And a 19.
Okay, not bad. So, Kenna doesn't do too bad. She actually doesn't even pass out. She's only reglowing one limb. It's not a major center of nerves. It's a little easier on her. I mean, it still hurts. I mean, it probably hurts more than getting the hand ripped off in the first place. But she handles it all right. She screams a little, but she doesn't pass out. She does okay. You are exhausted to level 3.
Your HP is fine.
Yep, your HP is fine, but you have the half movement speed and the other various effects. But since you're the first one that's conscious, you get to experience that your hand does indeed grow back. For those of you watching, which I guess is just Lazarus now, you actually get to watch her hand, like, reform, and, like, the bones come out first, and then, like, the skin goes across, and it did the same thing to Dis, but it was hard to watch Dis. It was, and Nim's was mostly internal, so there wasn't as much cool things to see.
Lazarus is right by Dis's head. He was like watching the shoulder grow out. He's just like...
Yeah, it was hard to watch. It was really hard to watch. Especially for Dis, because it kind of did each thing in order, so you had to watch his bones come out first, everywhere first, then the muscles and tissue came in. So, yeah. Which is part of the reason it hurts so much. If you've ever seen somebody with a broken bone where it's exposed to air, that shit hurts. And you had that, like, half of your body, the bones were exposed to air.
Yeah.
Nice.
But everybody made it.
Yep.
Lazarus, you and Kenna are still conscious, so the Sasha kind of gives you each a nod. I'll take my leave now. You should all be fine. Unfortunately, I have no control over the rest of what will happen to you today, so I would just inform them that the others need their rest. Probably you as well, my dear. You may not want to move around much as well. As she's walking out the door, she takes a small slip of paper out of her robe, and she tucks it into Dis's robe.
Well,
I'm gonna check that shit.
This is passed out, right?
Oh, he's way past
no, I'm
out.
gonna-
Lazarus just whistles at her.
After she's out.
She kind of, like, she looks back at you and, like, blushes again and, like, quickly hurries out of the room.
Thanks, Sasha!
She just closes the door behind her.
Go
Booty.
get that note, check it.
No, that's all you.
You're gonna make the gibbled person try?
Lazarus wants nothing to do with that.
I'm gonna half-ass walk my speed over there.
Alright.
Over there.
I should note, exhaustion says you move at half speed. It's because you're hurt. So, like, it's not like, oh, I'm moving slowly. It's, I physically can't move any faster than this. So, it's not pleasant. About
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
If I shapeshifted,
Exhaustion persists.
it's still perceptive.
It's
Try.
literally
Try.
an exhaustion of your body and mind.
Okay.
It's not something you can run from.
Okay.
Literally.
Yeah, not at all.
Slowly get my way over there then.
I'm not gonna lie, like, halfway to Dis's bed, it's like, it seriously stops feeling worth it as you get, like, halfway to him.
Could you at least carry me to his bed?
Very well.
Oh, Lazarus, you're just the best little big old
If
lizard.
he asked, Lazarus had nothing to do with anything.
How would he know? He's not gonna know anything.
Bird's listening to the whole thing. It's like,
Yeah, Bird's been out the whole time.
Alright, scoops.
So I look at the bird and be like, hush now.
Bird, like, cocks his head to one side, but says nothing. Lazarus, roll sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
You'll see why.
I'm trying to be very careful. At 20, 22.
Okay. Lazarus is surprisingly tender as he raises you into his arms.
I give him a little pat on the shoulder.
Alright.
You might not want to do that. If he's carrying you like this, your right arm would have to be the one to pat him.
No, I can reach over with my left arm.
Your left arm would be pinned against his chest.
Oh. Okay, never mind.
I'm afraid you'll just have to appreciate
Yeah.
the stare she gives you, I'm sure.
I told him he's a good big lizard.
Yeah.
Or she gets carried to this.
Okay, you are at Dis's bed.
I want to look at the note. I want to read it.
Okay. I like how Dis is, like, almost dead. Ken is like, I'm gonna read that fucking note.
He's fine. She healed him.
I don't...
do I look fine?
Dis doesn't really look fine, I'm not gonna lie. But that's okay.
I'll do a medicine check while I'm there. I'll do
Oh,
a medicine check to steal the note.
I don't think that's how it works.
I mean, you can do a medicine check while you're taking
Yes.
the note.
Yeah.
Okay, roll a medicine check.
28.
All right.
Not 20.
So, you learn two things while reaching for the note.
Uh-huh.
Doing your medicine check,
Uh-huh.
which was definitely your primary purpose, and not at all
Absolutely.
just to take the note.
Nope.
Two things you learn. First is that Dis's entire body is basically in crisis mode. He's breathing fast, he's sweating profusely. It's, his body's just desperately trying to keep itself together.
Mhm.
The second is his nerve endings are shot. The second you go to reach for the paper, your fingertips brush him and his entire body spasms like you hit him with lightning.
Oh, fuck. Because I did this medicine check. Is there anything I think I could do to help ease this?
Lazarus also has healing.
I technically have a 4th level heal.
It's not so much that a heal couldn't help him, it's just the type of damage that his body is under right now isn't that type of damage. It's not that his hit points are lowered, it's just that his entire body is insanely exhausted.
What is that spell that heals like one level of exhaustion?
Greater restoration.
Oh, okay.
When he took lesser, I double checked while you guys were on break just to see if it would be of any help at all.
So I'd probably only reduce it to like 1 day instead of 40 or something.
Exactly. It would basically take away like your first day of your 2 days.
4th or 5th?
I'm checking right now if I can get it.
No,
I don't remember. Not off the top of my head, anyway.
It's 5th level.
Yeah, it's 5th.
Yeah, so none of us can get it.
One more level.
Greater Rest is a pretty serious spell,
it's
though.
really
So, I mean, like, it makes
costs
sense.
quite a bit. Doesn't it have a...
No.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, 100 GP.
Yeah.
Well, a diamond, you just need to have a diamond dust worth at least 100 GP.
I think he
spell
uses
consumes.
it, though.
Oh, this,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
So you
100
actually have
gold
to have
per
it.
cast.
That's bullshit.
Now.
You should see that feast. Doesn't it cost like 1,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, nevertheless, you didn't grab the note. You were so shocked by his reaction that you had to pull back. You can try again, obviously, but just the initial reaction shocked you enough that you couldn't grab the note.
When she touched him,
Mhm.
did I see his body go into like a convulsion?
She was exceptionally careful. It appears that her medical skills are better than yours.
Bitch.
And female players, so catty. Always shitting on the female NPCs.
Can I see where the note is? Like, can I see it right now?
She tucked it into his gown near a delicate area.
Oh, never mind then.
Careful, you might be incredibly impressed.
I've seen you before.
Oh, yes.
And she was incredibly impressed.
All good.
Can't get that stupid freaking note.
I'm sure your curiosity can be satisfied.
And how are we going to do that?
Ask him later.
I guess so. Maybe. Maybe he'll tell me. It's more likely he's going to tell Bird, though. Maybe I could look like Bird and then he'll tell me.
I feel like Bird just is like, and just glares at you.
Bird, come on. You know you want to be my friend. I want to be your friend. It's not my fault that Nim's your thing, person.
Your thing.
Your...
Contractual obligation order.
Yeah.
I feel like he just glares at you. Doesn't like being impersonated.
I didn't impersonate him.
But the threat was there.
Only because I want the information.
And she gives Nim shit.
It's all because I really want to know what the note was that they had last session, and I still don't know.
Seems really like, you know, they're much closer brother and sister than maybe we initially gave them credit for. They're a lot alike. Wait, which note are you trying to get information
The
on?
one we read.
The one that,
Oh, that's
that
right.
neither of them could read.
That's right. That's right.
That I tried to get at last session without metagaming.
I suppose I'll put her back on her bed now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can take me back to bed, Lazarus. You're a good man.
So, you take Kenna back to bed, and the strain of what she's done and the moving around right after the procedure is complete, she does pass out.
Okay.
Leaving Lazarus alone in a room with 3 very injured people.
Mm-hmm.
Time for interrogation.
Yeah, basically. Solo interrogation.
Funny thing that.
I suppose Lazarus will actually go up to the door.
Okay. You look, there's a little window in the door, and you can see one tall gentleman flanked by 2 slightly shorter armed gentlemen.
Yes.
Open the door, please.
Open the door. Provided it's actually open.
It is open.
Okay.
Door opens. This large individual. Are you Lazarus?
I am
Come with us, please.
kind of like well wishes to the people passed out to bed behind me. I guess I step out into the hall.
Okay. They begin walking you down the hall. You walk for some time. You move through several hallways, all with doors very similar to the one you just saw. Definitely leaving you the impression that this is less a hospital building and definitely more of a storage for certain types of people. They walk you for about 20 minutes through the building, so it's got to be fairly large, before retreating to a door not all that dissimilar from the one you just came from. They open it, and inside is a very small space, only about 3 feet by 3 feet. You barely fit in it.
Mm.
Inside, please.
Get inside.
They close the door, leaving you in a very tight area with just the little window.
Mm-hmm.
This is how this is going to begin. You're going to stand in that room for as long as I deem necessary, until I get the answers out of you that I need. The longer you take, the more painful it will become. Because those walls are about 3 feet apart now, but they won't stay that way.
Nice.
Do I make myself clear?
Perfectly.
Very well, then. We'll start with something simple. Tell me your name.
Lazarus.
Your full name.
Lazarus of Turkanoth.
I see. And where do you come from?
Slave camp.
Any particular name? I'm told the slave camps out in the wilds have names.
I remember. The name was Rock Lobster.
I see. Why did you come to the Stronghold?
In search of a little girl. Pursuit of a quest to return her to her bereft father.
A little girl. And while you were on your way here, did you encounter anyone from the Stronghold?
Eventually, we encountered the people that brought us here.
I see. One of the ranger parties, then.
This one assumes.
And no one before that.
We did not encounter anything other in the forest, other than creatures that tried to take our lives from us.
Roll deception.
Who did we meet in the forest?
Didn't meet anyone in the
You
forest.
didn't meet anyone in the forest, but you did meet someone from the Stronghold before that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't understand. I didn't get that from the question. Mm-hmm.
That's fine. You answered as honestly as you could.
Well, this isn't a saving throw, is it?
No.
Well, 22.
Okay. The person nods. Interesting. Very well. I suppose we'll move on to the more difficult questions now. You've done well. I've had no reason to squeeze you, so to speak. I hope it stays that way.
Lazarus does like not being squeezed.
Tell me about your time since you got here. Who have you met?
In the Stronghold. First, whoever was responsible for pulling us through the walls. Rude entry point. We met the people involved in getting us through the trials and organized into the Venturing Guild. Sergeant Strain in particular.
Perhaps I should have been more specific. Who have you talked to that wasn't directly affiliated with the Adventurers Guild?
Father Maxie.
A priest?
Lil, of course. Farmers. What chronologically did we do back then?
Not sure it matters chronologically.
Well, I'm trying to have to remember which shops Lazarus was actually there, not just like other people.
Fair enough. Hey, answer as best as you can. I mean, honestly, if you don't remember, chances are Lazarus might not either.
Various shopkeepers as well, people of faith. Very few people my names. Lady named Phelan.
Ah, you encountered a witch.
A witch.
Yes, a fortune teller.
That is a word Lazarus is more familiar with.
Well, that's what we refer to them here as. Interesting. And which one of them gave you the orb that has replaced your eye?
Lazarus is not certain what replaced his eye.
Not strictly true. Roll deception.
Gotta try and play.
Yeah?
Wait, is something wrong with my eye?
I play it super oblivious. What, there's something wrong with my eye? You do have inspiration if you need it.
I'll use it on that one. Oh, yeah, just say 15
Okay.
then. Now I'm getting squeezed.
You hear a loud grinding sound, and the walls move about an inch closer on each side.
Ooh, that's spooky.
I really had hoped it wouldn't come to this. Perhaps you'd like to restate your answer?
He said not affiliated with the Stronghold.
Yes.
Skinner's affiliated with the Stronghold.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but his question that you lied about was who gave you the eye, and you said you don't know.
Oh, I don't know Skinner. All
All
right.
you know is a nickname.
This came about through an individual who is affiliated with the Stronghold, known as Skinner. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not.
You'll have to find out.
Yeah,
What's your passive perception?
15.
I see. As you start to reply, you notice a shift behind the individual talking to you. And as you get about halfway through your sentence, when it becomes clear that you're going to say a name, just before you get to his name, the shadow of him behind him shifts ever so slightly. And you watch as he suddenly gasps for air, and he begins lifting off the ground.
Well, I'm stuck in this room.
Yep.
I just didn't actually say the name.
No, you didn't get that far.
Well,
Just curious if you have a reaction at all.
yeah, I'm like, I can't see much going on, yeah.
No, you watch as around this individual's neck, a shadowy hand closes around their throat, and that's what's lifting them up off the ground. And you hear very faintly, I had really hoped I wouldn't have to see one of you quite so soon. Did we not have a little talk about what you were and were not allowed to reveal, Lazarus?
Perhaps.
Well, it's just lucky I happened to be wandering by and decided to spare you from some of the more painful effects you could have experienced. But we can't very well have people wandering around knowing too much, can we? So I'll give you a choice, Lazarus. I could kill these three men and erase all presence of their existence, and you would walk away a relatively free man, but with their deaths on your conscience. Or I can attempt to wipe their memories, similar to how I was forced to do with yours, not all that long ago. But should I happen to miss anything, the choice may come back to haunt you.
Lazarus is already carrying 500 souls. He will not add 3 more.
Very well. Your choice is made. The door pops open. I would suggest that you return to the cell with your friends inside. I'll make sure the new memories they receive indicate that you were misdiagnosed with your affliction. But Lazarus, this is a one-time deal. If I catch you talking again, I will kill you. Now run along. All right. You walk busily down the hall, and just as you turn the corner out of view, you hear 3 blood-curdling screams.
Nice.
Do a history check to see how easy it is for you to find your way back.
7.
It takes Lazarus a while.
Wow, we're back to Laslolian.
I feel like we've been here before. You think about halfway back to the rest of the people of your party when you notice a shadowy figure slipping along the wall next to you.
Sorry, what?
There's a shadow sliding along the wall next to you.
Nice.
It gets a little bit ahead of you and just kind of pops out of the wall just a little. I did forget to mention, Lazarus, I don't want you to think that I only came here to chastise you. I would like to formally congratulate you and your friends. We've never had a group infiltrate the Shadowblades so quickly.
We did decide to take this event and use it for as much as it's worth.
The loss of life is unfortunate, and true, perhaps not all of it was exactly per your plan. But, should the Stronghold fail, we will all die. So all in all, I suppose the ends justify the means.
We shall see.
Good luck, Lazarus. Don't forget to report on what you learn. I hope it's a while before we see each other in person again.
No doubt. There is work to be done.
Also, it's not really my place, but their cells are that way.
Thank you.
With that little bit of a helping hand, Lazarus finds his way back. I would like the 3 people that are unconscious to roll a luck roll, please. How'd you do?
6. 7.
10!
Jesus. All right, when you arrive back, Kenna is just waking up.
So I see him come in?
Faintly, yes. At this point, if there's nothing that you want to discuss immediately, we can accelerate things a little bit. You guys do have, obviously, some downtime that you're going to have to experience, especially because at least one of you is immobile for 2 days.
Yep.
So they're not very restrictive of you at this point. In fact, about 2 hours after you get back, a guard comes by and indicates that you are free to go whenever you're capable to go, and you're free to stay as long as you need to. And all pretext of needing to secure you seems to have gone away. Yeah. At this point, you guys are free to do whatever you like. You obviously still have your rings. You still have access to the places that you've been capable of going before. You can check in with people if you want. You can do some mucking around. You can do some shopping, whatever you want to do. You'll need at least, at least 10 days for Dis to fully recover. So he'll be not necessarily out of commission for those 10 days, but you should probably plan to not do anything too serious for at least 10 days.
Yeah.
You have been given a month before you are required to return to adventuring duties, but you can return to them earlier than that if you choose. Anybody have any specific downtime activities in mind?
Can I do my God puzzle?
Yeah, God puzzle.
Of course you can. I will note as well that obviously Kenna, at some point during that downtime activity, you could probably, see if somebody will tell you about the piece of paper they can't read.
I also want to read the note when I wake up and figure out it's there.
Oh, of course. Let's do that real quick. So, when you wake up...
Are we all there?
You're all in the room. Yeah. We can do that wake up real quick, just in case.
I will be watching him.
Waiting for him to be awake enough?
Yeah.
All right. Dis is asleep for a day and a half.
Shit.
So, it's a while. If there's anything important anybody wants to get done before that time, tell me now and we'll very quickly go through
I
it.
don't know if Lazarus has a way to look up the list of family names like he intended. Anyway.
In terms of the victims?
No, as far as noble families.
Oh, if you like to, absolutely.
And then, Lazarus is just checking to see if his family is here, basically.
Okay, fair enough. A lot of that, if you choose, you can do through Lil, as long as you don't mind doing things through her.
I suppose Lazarus doesn't mind her knowing.
Okay. What is the last name you look for?
Obviously or inobviously?
Obviously to see if it's in the records.
Well, Turkanoff.
And I suppose you probably look for anything close to that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. It takes a little while to get back with the list of names. There's a surprisingly high amount of not just nobles, but on a hunch, she checks the market or the merchant guild as well. So we'll get back to that.
Okay.
Anything else anybody wants to do before Dis wakes up?
I don't really have anything to do.
At some point, I want to copy Gust of Wind into my spellbook, but
Okay, you have the money to do it?
I would have to.
Poke Kenna and get her to give you the money?
How much?
I think it's 50.
Name's so expensive.
Nim takes all of her money.
Wizard life, yo.
Yo, man. Wizard
ain't
life.
cheap,
You're not the only one living off this, though. Yo.
Not many of us are living right now, really.
No.
I mean, it's definitely your guys' downtime, at least for these first 10 days, is going to be a lot of limping around and getting little tasks done. And
So he's been asleep for a day and a half.
A day and a
So I
half.
can take one day off my exhaustion.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It actually be 100 GP. It's 50 GP.
Oh, are you counting it as in the whole 6 days?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have the whole 6 days.
Right.
But
He's only been asleep for a day and a half. It'll take 2 days to burn off one exhaustion.
No, I know, but I can remove a day because I have 6 days written
Oh,
down.
yes. Yes, you can. And yeah, if you like, Nim can copy the spell into his spellbook.
100?
how much do we have?
468.
Does the Lazarus' coin pouch survive or not?
Yes.
Well, then you've got 34 gold and 14 silver in there.
I'll have to discuss with the group.
100's a lot.
100 is a lot, especially because we have to start paying Lil and we don't have jobs and we're broken.
Not broken anymore.
We can just get a second loan.
I mean, the scroll's not going anywhere, at least.
The scroll is not going anywhere.
Alright.
During this day and a half, you guys do take a little bit of time to kind of go out and kind of see what's going on a little bit anyway.
Oh, so we go out?
Not out, but you kind of poke your heads around.
Probably get a lot of... How many stairs?
Not as many as you might think. The Stronghold is a busy place. Word is definitely traveling of what's happened, but it hasn't yet gotten to the point where everybody knows you and is staring at you. That being said, on every floor, at least the floors that you've visited, there are monuments going up just beside where the portals open that are basically just monoliths with names carved in them of the people that were lost.
Lazarus going to spend a lot of time trying to laws.
So, a little bit of an unfortunate reminder. That being said, a day and a half passes. Dis wakes up. Dis, you don't feel well overall, but you're not dying. And, you know, every hour is a little better than the last one. Your body is slowly recovering. As you wake up, you check yourself, I would imagine, to make sure the legs and the arms are all in places they should be. And during this pat down, you feel the crinkling of paper somewhere near your junk.
Oh, what is this? Oh, what is this? Probably more like that.
You take the piece of paper out, and it contains 2 pieces of information. The first piece of information seems like an address of some kind.
You look so pleased.
He's pretty proud of himself overall, I think. Let me just grab... I have the address written down. I just want to make sure I get it right, because, you know, I like to be specific. Damn it, where did that list go? Hang on one second. Okay. So, the first thing on the piece of paper is a list that kind of reads like an address. It says Merchant Rung. Middle Subdivision. Three doors south of the Tickled Fanny.
Appropriate.
Red and blue door. The second list item, because nobody saw her write anything, the second list item seems to be not so much an address, but possibly a method of communication. You're not sure. It reads, ring of gold or better, three degrees right, 5 degrees left, say Sasha.
Pinpoint precision.
You're gonna have to upgrade your ring, bro. Otherwise, you can't get that booty call.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. We don't have money for that.
Well, son.
No, it's probably an adventuring ring.
Yeah, we're gonna have to rank up.
She
I'll look at it.
gave you a standard gold.
I'll look at it.
Gold
I'll
or
be like,
better.
well, looks like we gotta get gold or better.
Why? I don't know what's
Got
on
a
that
booty
note.
call. Hand it over.
I got a
Okay.
booty call, hands it over.
Read the note and then give the man a high five.
Oh,
And then
I was
give
like,
the
I'm
man a
wondering how I'm
high
handing it
five.
over. I'm assuming you'd probably get up and walk over because I'm still bedridden.
Yeah.
Only you two know about the other note, right?
Yeah,
Lazarus never
only
saw
these
it.
2 assholes know about it. Sorry. Really want to know what that note says. We're only 10?
You guys are iron.
Yeah, we both got
Iron. Okay, so we have to go up 2 levels.
easy.
Yeah, they're
Well,
so happy to have
They
us
said you could go to other rungs. You just have to pay
Yeah.
if you can't get there yourself.
No, so you could go see her before you can talk to her. Sorry, I'm broke. But I don't live at my mom's house. So
So it's cool.
We're working as a janitor right now. They're moving in.
I mean, you guys are going to have some downtime. You might want to think about making some money.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or maybe
More
take
money.
some of those easier sounding quests Lil had for you.
This one we thought was the easiest.
No, this was the one you thought had a time frame.
Oh, right.
Not the easiest.
This is by far the hardest.
Obviously.
Well, now, yes.
I mean, who knows? Maybe I made the person you have to escort, the little child, maybe they're a demon.
Maybe it's just Damien. Be like, or another Damien.
Oh, Miss Damien.
For those listening, Damien is a small child that is on the island that they started a civilization on that they will someday get back to, but took a little time away from to try to make a deal with the Stronghold people.
Is he a child, though?
Well, I mean, I don't want to give away too much.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we've already found out a lot.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to sit here and discuss the history of Damien in the middle of a session. We can maybe do a video about what you guys left at home and that sort of stuff, and
One
kind
has
of
a
catch
cupboard
people
in his
up.
back.
That's right. That's right. Things like that comment would make way more sense. So that's Dis waking up. At that point, you are all awake. So at the very least, you know, some stuff can get done if there's other things that you want done.
Is that the only note she left you? You don't have any other notes?
Oh, I have a note.
Normally I'd be a dick, but I feel like otherwise there's like no natural way for that note to come up. Because Nim will just file it away in his pieces of paper I've gathered sack and we'll never see it again.
I was trying to find the best way to be natural.
But I mean, you probably can't read it. I can't read it, so you probably can't read it.
Well, let me try.
I hand it over to her.
What languages can you read?
I think Sylvan's the new one that
Sylvan and Druidic are the only ones that
they can't see.
beyond theirs. I speak Common, Abyssal, Gnomish, Draconic, Druidic, and Sylvan.
You can't read it either.
It's obviously just chicken scratch. It doesn't mean anything.
Next time that Shadow Man? No, maybe we shouldn't get the Shadow Man to read it, because what if it's something custodian?
Do not deal with shadow.
That's what I'm scared it says.
It says work for me.
Well, maybe some of your downtime activity will be trying to find someone to decipher the note.
Or maybe it'll be learning new languages.
If you're only going to take a month max, you don't have
This
the
is
time.
true. This is true.
So obviously we can speed up time a little bit
Yeah.
because, I mean, you guys have some downtime coming to you one way or the other. So first question is, you have at least 8.5 more days of downtime before you're all in tip-top condition. Is there anything you want to get accomplished during that time?
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, we're just about at a good point for a break, so if you guys want to take a break, think about some things that you might want to get done, at least in these first 8.5 days, and we'll kind of deal with that, and then we can obviously go from there.
I want to find a job.
All right? It's a good idea.
As well as where's Lil's results.
Yeah, we'll do that as well.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, we will take a quick break. Wow, what a cliffhanger. I wonder what's going to happen next time. Seriously, guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening in. If you liked what you heard, share us with your friends. If you hated what you heard, share us with your enemies. Seriously, though, like, comment, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll find out what happens to Double Doubles and Dragons next time.